Welcome everybody, and thanks all for coming today. So today's webinar explores onboarding and specifically getting you through getting you live in 15 minutes or so. We'll see how we do, and getting you through the 3 rental phases, okay, from setup to ready and to live. So we're going to go and have a look at how we do that, and clock is ticking, so let's get going. Any questions, please ask in the question section, and we'll try to get those if there's any at the end. Okay, so here you're looking at the onboarding wizard built into BRM, and it's available when you click on the logo on the top left, BRM. So basically, we've got to follow these steps to get live. So if we look at the first one, add bikes, we've got to turn the crosses into green ticks. So let's go over here. So the first thing, we've got no inventory, so let's add some bikes. So on the bottom right down here, it says quick add. If we add quick add, then we can access the bikes that we have. So we're going to add our road bikes first. So we're lucky enough to have some Trackmadons, SL7s. So put in the model in here, and then the size underneath that. Okay, so we're going to say large, and we're going to say that we've got 4 of them. So we do add. Now what it does here, it adds the entire hierarchy. So the category, the product family, the product line, and then the items underneath. So it stays open on quick add, and we're also going to add some mountain bikes. So we're going ahead, put our category, mountain, and here we got some stump jumpers, some track stump jumpers. So specialized stump jumpers. Let's go ahead and put these in as well. And let's say that we've got small, maybe we've got a couple of them. So let's go ahead and add. And again, what that does is all the way 4 levels of the hierarchy. Okay, so we don't need the quick add anymore. And now we can have a look at the hierarchy which we've created. Like I say, 4 levels: category, family, line, and bikes. So let's add some images. Click on here, and we're going to upload our road bike images. So we're going to enter here. I've got these ready already. So my Trackmadon. Now centralize the image inside the blue rectangle, and hit done, and hit done. Now that's the category image. Now remember, we've only got 1 product line in each of our categories as it happens. So we're going to share the same image between the product and the category, which is fine. Now, if you've got multiple products in your category, then you're going to have multiple products, and they're going to share the same category image. So you have to make the choice between what is your category image and what is your product image. Let's quickly do the same for the stumpies. So let's go ahead and upload that. And there's my stump jumper at the category level. And let's go and do the same thing. Let's add the stump jumper at the product level as well. And obviously that means that you can add that in. All the bikes underneath are basically the same thing. Whatever size they are, that image is relevant. As you can see here, you can add summary and notes, tech specs, anything you want to do to help sell those bikes to your customers. Okay, so we're in pretty good shape now. If we go and have a look back at our inventory, we've got these 2 categories with our images. And if we go and click on the top left-hand corner, the logo of BRM, we go back to the wizard. Okay, now, when we were adding the bikes, we also added names for our price groups. So we've got 2 price groups, but they're not currently populated. So we're going to come back to that in a minute. Meanwhile, I just want to go back in because a couple of you might be thinking, yeah, but I've got different size run underneath my category. So let's say my stump jumper, I've got my small in there, but let's say that we want to add different sizes. So maybe I've got my medium, and maybe I've got 3 of them. So put the capacity up to 3, and then click to create the items underneath. Okay, so we do separate the 2 things, the capacity and the actual items underneath. So go ahead and create that and give it a name. So you want to call that stump jumper, medium, and then it'll automatically name them 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's my mediums. And then let's go in here and let's do my larges. So let's just add my large. Let's say I've got 5 of them. Wait for that to increase the capacity and then create them. So that's my stump jump larges, and that'll put that run all the way in through there. Okay, now when you name your bikes, name them according to whatever you want. You probably want to put stickers, maybe with barcodes on your bikes as well. We can help you with all of that. Whatever naming makes sense for you. Click on the top left and you'll see your progress. Okay, so we're now going to go into pricing. If you click on pricing, you'll see that we've created the price groups when we created the categories. It does that automatically. You can actually change the names as you create them, but we're pretty happy with them. And then what we're going to do is put in our prices. Now, this is what we call tiered duration pricing. Okay, so we're going to make it progressively cheaper for people to rent our bikes for longer periods, cheaper per day to encourage longer rentals. So let's just say with my mountain bikes, let's start with what's my 1 day rate. Okay, so 1 day mountain, that's going to be 80 euros. And then maybe, like I say, we want to do, this tiered duration pricing. So maybe it's slightly cheaper for the 2 day rate, 150. So put in there, and then it goes up. You can do this however you want, whatever makes sense. Let me just put some prices in here: 240, 280, 290, and then 300 for my 7 day price. Okay, so that saves it. It saves it as you go. And we're going to do the same for the road bike. So what's my road bike? Okay, imagine they're just cheaper. It doesn't really matter, but let's just say they're 70, 140. You get the general idea. You can have whatever matrix of prices and durations in here that you want. So what about half-day pricing? Okay, so I decided I do want to do half-day pricing up to 4 hours, and it's going to be 50. So not quite half, but because you want to maximize the revenue you get, etc. So that looks pretty good. We're going to save that off. And then also, we're not going to recognize 3-hour rentals. So I can just delete that whole column. And we're not going to do 2 hours. So that looks pretty good now. I mean, I can continue to fill this out, whatever durations I want. There's an extra day duration there as well. But you get the general idea with pricing. So that's all good. We've got 2 ticks. Now we're going to go to store settings. So when you go in here, when you start a trial, it just comes up with any old name according to what you put in. So you want to go and change that to whatever your bike shop's called. You're going to want to upload a logo. Let's just put a BRM logo in there as well. And then you are going to want to put in your address. So being a demo, I'm just going to put some dummy stuff in here just real quick. And then now you probably want to put your latitude and longitude so that you appear on bike.rent, booking portal. Check your phone number, store locale, your current country, all that kind of stuff. Now, this is cool. At the bottom here, you can put in the name of what you call your main rental items. So here is bike and bikes. It might be like equipment, might be, boards, skis, wheels, whatever you want to do, whatever makes sense for you. So save that off and go back, top left, see how you're doing. Okay, so 4 out of 5 ticks. By the way, it automatically fills in notifications when you register because we use your email address, and you can change that if you want to. But we'll just keep that the same. Opening hours. Let's go in here. So, what are your core hours? So here I'm going to do 9 till 6. I'll do 6 p.m. or do military time like this. Set base times. So that sets it to 9 till 6 every day. But then you're like, okay, well, maybe I'm closed on Sunday. Maybe have different hours on a Wednesday. Exactly. So you can go in and tweak those things once you have your core hours set. Okay, so we're in good shape now. We've got our bikes, we've got our pricing, we've got our core hours. We can go ahead and make a booking. So let me share this tab instead. This is your online booking. Already looks pretty cool, and we've only been going 6 minutes. So what we've got here is online booking. We've got our logo. It picks the dates. We've got mountain bike and road bike as 2 options with images. Let's just go ahead and book one. So let's book a road bike. Add to cart. Comes in here. It's got the price according to the duration that the user selected. I'm going to go pick this now. One of the things I did here, because I'm already a user on our bike.rent network, it auto logged me in. So it's quicker. If it isn't there, then the customer just has to log it in themselves. On the left-hand side, we break down what's being rented. On the right-hand side, it's for your details. Like I said, a pre-filled. Maybe I want to stay at staying at the Hilton, let the bike shop know where I am, etc. Accept terms and conditions, go ahead and book, and that goes through. So there you go. June 1, you are in business. You have made your first booking. Let's go back to BRM. And if we go in now, we can see that in the back office, road bike has been booked June 0001. I can click on that. There's the note. Customer notes come through in green. Customer detail there is Doug Stoddart. That's the information on my registration, June 1 first rental. So we're in business. Okay, now let's do something else. Let's just say that we want to actually have a look at a back office booking to tick that off as well. So let's say customer phones, they want to book a large and a medium stump jumper from today. So we choose the 2 bikes, and this is a multi-bike booking. You may want to do single. We're going to choose Wednesday the 4th and Thursday the 5th. I only have to drag for one bike and it'll automatically select both. So it's a Mr. Jones. It'll automatically search the database because it's a clean trial. There's nobody in the database. So we're going to go ahead and create that customer from blank. We can go ahead and start to manage that booking, put it through the reservation lifecycle. Okay, so that is now done and that is all booked. And that starts to give you an idea of what we're doing here. We're making online bookings, we're making in-store bookings. So we're in good shape. Let's go ahead and next one's really cool. Set up your payment provider. Now we click on here, it takes us to the payment processes and we can choose Stripe. And what we're going to do, I've set up a Stripe account. This is actually a Stripe test account. And you go to the API keys and you can cut and paste in your API key in here as well. And you can save that off and you can set that up and that's automatically going to wire it up. Now, BRM does not act as a middleman. The money goes straight from your customer into your Stripe bank account. Okay, so that's really cool. There's no delays, there's no middleman. You get the money straight away. So that's set up. So again, we're looking really good. That doesn't actually tick that box because we're in test mode and it detects that you're not ready to go live. But obviously I can't do that with a live account in this demo. So I'm just going to show you like that. Now, before we go back through and make another booking, there's a couple of the little things I wanted to tell you about. Now, BRM, if you go to the settings area, you'll see that there's hundreds of settings you can do. So we've had 15 years of experience of talking to bike shops and making this work for every single way that a bike shop works. So I'm not going to show you everything. I'm just going to call out a couple of things that you want to know about. So I said before about the customer data when the customer is registering online. Now, BRM has an inbuilt customer database. Okay, so you can decide which data you store, name, address, all this kind of stuff for each channel that you talk to your customers on. Online, kiosk mode, which is another webinar, and back office. And you can say whether they're visible, mandatory. You can say at what level they apply. Is it per rental, so the lead booker, or is it per item, per rider in the rental, or is it both? So you can do all of this control. And if there aren't any fields here that suit the job you're trying to do, you can add a new one like driver's license or whatever is missing for you to be able to do it. ABC length on a bike or rider weight to set up the suspension. You can just go right ahead and add that in. So let's go back now and have a look at the list. Okay, so we've been doing the customer data. The next one I want to show you is the terms and the waivers. So terms and waivers, you're going to want to upload your version according to your whatever country, whatever state you're in. You're going to want to upload your terms and conditions for online business and your waiver, okay, to waiver of liability with your customers. And you can do that according to what channel you're on. So if you're doing rentals, if you're doing repairs, or if you're doing tours, activities, events, appointments for bike fitting, you have different terms and conditions according to the channel, and you can do that in different languages. So that's really cool. And then there's one final thing we want to do as well, which is a key element, which I wanted to call out. A lot of people really like this feature, which is the extras and add-ons. So let's just say that you are renting pedals with your bikes. And, you know, you can even have bike-specific pedals. So you can have an SPD for your mountain bikes, SPD SL for your road bikes, different kinds of pedal, and they can apply to different types of bike that you're renting. So go ahead and set that up. You can add different images, you can add different pricing, but I'm just going to show you that quickly. And then the second kind of adding you're going to want to do is this is the reservation level. Now, you may want to add a booking fee if you're on a usage-based billing package. And the booking fee is really cool because it lets you add a fee that passes on to the customer. Okay, so here I'm going to take 5% on all of my online bookings. I'm going to set a tax code, 0 code there. And what that now does, if we go back and have a look at my extras, is that I've got now a per item level, which is my SPD pedals, okay, per each item, because people can book multiple bikes. And then my reservation add-on is a 5% booking fee, which you keep, you the bike shop keep, and you can use it to help offset your fees that you pay BRM. Okay, so finally, let's go over and have a look at that. Now that we've set up pricing and payment and extras, we're going to go and see what that looks like in an online context. So let's go into mountain. Let's choose a couple of stump jumpers. Let's do 2 this time. Add them to the cart. Okay, so now what it does is it says, these are my 2 products that I'm looking at on the right. and I can have a look at my extras. So this guy is going to take pedals, the other guy isn't. Okay, and then it says add-ons here. I go and continue. That's my booking fee, 5% booking fee. So that's extra revenue you take. It's very common in this industry to have booking fees. Customers expect it, and it's an opportunity for you to make more money to offset your costs, as I said before. So we're going to go ahead and update that. There's my details. Again, this is what I was showing you before. If you want to ask more or less questions, you can go ahead and set that up in your customer data. They can put in whatever the notes they want to tell you there. On the left-hand side, we break down the products, any extras, any pricing for those extras, any add-ons like booking fee, delivery fee, etc. Break down the rental period and all the pricing and the tax, etc. Customer books, they go ahead and enter their terms and conditions. So that's all cool. You've made the booking, and now you're invited to go ahead and pay. So being that this is a test account, you get given this test card, and we can now go ahead and make this booking and pay for it as well. Pay the $104.69, and there we go. Your booking has been made for your bike shop. There's your reference number for the customer. You get an email. Your customer gets an email, and the bike shop gets an email. Let's go back and have a look at what that looks like in the planner. So again, you can look at it either through the lens of your product, which shows you how your products have been allocated, or through reservation side. So if you click on the reservation side, you can either look at stuff that's happening this week or recently created, and that will show you where your reservations are. Okay, that's a little bit strange. I'm not sure why that's missing there. Let's go and have a look at that from the product side. And there's my booking there, June 3. So this is the booking that I was just talking about. And the interesting thing is that you'll see there we've got a transaction that's actually been paid for. We've got communication with the customer, and there's the note, staying at the hotel. There's my customer record. And then crucially, if we go down and have a look in here, we can see that one of the bikes has got no SPD pedals, and then the second bike has got SPD pedals. So all of the extras are in sync with what's been booked online. So there we go. That's it. Now let's go and have a look up in the top left-hand corner. We can see the progress. So everything's done, with the exception of we haven't used live Stripe yet. So let's just go and declare that we're moving to live. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and press publish. Now this is useful because it lets our team know that you're live, so we can track your progress. We can come and have a look at your installation, make sure everything's set up correctly. It also puts a bit more safety onto reservations, because while you're playing around and testing, we make it very easy to delete reservations. And when you go live, we don't want you to delete reservations accidentally. So you can cancel them, but deleting is not a good idea. So there we go. That's it, folks. Hopefully that's pretty much 15 minutes. And if you do have any questions, we can take them now. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Just give people a minute for questions. Okay, thanks everybody. No questions today, but see you again for the next meeting. Bye.